best there's ever been. They're the only ones that give your family 1 full quarter of 5 vitamins they need. There is iron too, and the sunshine taste. So it's smart to start with Kellogg's Cornflakes. With Kellogg's Cornflakes.
In summer, you need Lifeguard more than ever to keep drains, sinks, everywhere fresh and free from germs. Lifeguard, now in 3 sizes, including the new big value litre bottle with non-slip grip. Use Lifeguard all around the house.
Your daily digestive, full of wheat and goodness, with cheese on when fishing. You've got a lovely bite, and McVitie's digestive, with jam and cream is festive. You're doing what comes naturally.
Golden wheat, the whole wheat. It takes the whole goodness to make a McVitie's digestive.
A satisfying supper is digestive with a cuppa. You're doing what comes naturally.
Enjoy your daily digestive. Buy McVitie's, naturally.
A woman's body is made to be stroked, not scratched or stung. So the new Lady Brawn Elegance is shaped to stroke away hair. It has a curved trimmer to fit under your arm, a flat trimmer to flatter your legs, and a gently rounded foil to smooth away those short hairs, all in a simple stroke. A stroke of genius, you might say.
I'm home. Daddy's home.
The ideal antiperspirant for a woman would bring her confidence beyond question. Now from Right Guard comes the most effective roll-on. Right Guard ZR brings a woman the gift of confidence.
Action Unlimited helps the handicapped in South Warwickshire by organising welfare and social activities. If you have a special problem and would like to know more, write to Action Unlimited, PO Box 5, Stratford-on-Avon.
Looking ahead to tonight, a 9 o'clock from ATV courtroom drama with Rumpole.
Jeez.
You will get Mr. Rumpole.
Now, look, Noreen and Mrs. Stimson.
Look, whatever Percy done, we want Rumpole.
The Simpson family have always been able to rely on Mr. Rumpole.
Oh, yes, but can Mr. Rumpole rely on the Simpson family?
An untrue confession, signed in the hope of saving his wife from the welcoming gates of Holloway Prison.
Mr. Rumpole.
Yes, my lord.
Aren't you rather forgetting something? This admirable example of Italian Renaissance art was actually found in your client's garage.
Rumpole of the Bailey from ATV at 9. And a reminder that this afternoon at 2:30 we'll be making a return visit to the Royal Show live. Serving the Midlands, this is ATV.
This is the news at 1 from ITN with Peter Sissons.
Hello, good afternoon. Starvation and disease threaten the people of Nicaragua in their tens of thousands as the Sandinista guerrillas fight on against the regime of President Somoza. We have an eyewitness report on their rapidly worsening plight. The other headlines, miners pay. Mr. Scargill warns if they don't get the money, it's into battle. The steel industry, more big losses and a boardroom row, but the chairman says he won't resign. The buoyant pound sterling, the threat and the challenge to Britain's exporters. We report, too, on a campaign to boost the provision of nursery education and on robbery on the buses, how the passenger will benefit if it's stamped out. But first, the plight of tens of thousands of refugees in Nicaragua caught in the crossfire of the civil war there and now threatened with starvation. With the rebel forces of the Sandinista guerrillas now controlling a large area in the north of the country, President Somoza's National Guard is desperately fighting back to regain control of 20 towns and cities lost to the rebels. In the capital, Managua, still the center of the fiercest fighting, the Red Cross say they've almost run out of food. The head of the Red Cross in Nicaragua has accused the rest of the world of ignoring the imminent starvation of thousands of people. Well, earlier I spoke to Carl Hirsch, one of the few foreign journalists still left in the country, and asked him to describe the suffering.
At the moment, there is virtually no food. The last of the supplies were distributed yesterday from the refugee centers. There are supplies coming in, but as the head of the Red Cross told me, the supplies are coming in at a rate that they are using them up before they even land on the ground.
And how many people are affected?
Well, in the refugee centers in Managua itself, the people who were forced from their homes and who fled to the refugee centers, there are approximately 70 or 80,000. These are the ones who are permanently in the refugee centers. But in each of the centers at night, people come in from the barrios, from the different sections of the city. They come in, spend the night in the refugee center, using the facilities, coming for food, and then they go back to their homes during the day. So there's another 30, 40,000 people there. Aside from these people, there are hundreds of thousands more the Red Cross can't even estimate, who have fled from their homes and are still wandering around the countryside, afraid to come back to the city.
Are these people in danger of starving?
The danger of malnutrition, the danger of starving is very real. At the moment, the last of the food supplies in the refugee center has been used up, and the level of food distribution has been cut twice. That is that a normal ration for a family of 8, which has been the average that the Red Cross has used, was cut last week in half. And just a few days ago, it was cut in half again. Now the supplies are down to virtually nothing, but the amount of food that is actually getting to people is now at a starvation level.
What about disease and lack of medical supplies, that sort of thing?
Medical supplies are trickling in. One plane load did come in from the United States yesterday on one of the relief runs. It brought in medical supplies instead of the few tons of food that the planes can carry. But in the refugee centers themselves, talking to the Red Cross workers who are responsible for the health of the people there, they say they have virtually nothing to work with, that they do not have the supplies, the antibiotics, anything to prevent the breakout of epidemics.
Of course, this is the price of getting rid of the Somoza regime. Is morale among these people high? I mean, are they on the point of packing in the struggle, or do they want to go on with the struggle?
What is very interesting in the development of the whole struggle here is that in every step that the Sandinistas have taken, in every result that has been shown or has come about to the people involved, they have always blamed Somoza and the Somoza regime. They will take you aside and say, look what Somoza has done to us. They do not blame the Frente, the Sandinistas, for what has happened. They blame the Somoza regime. The people are very angry in the camps. A foreign journalist will go in and will be mobbed by people. As a United States reporter, they will take me aside and say, tell President Carter what's happening to us. Tell him what Somoza is doing to us. He says, let the world know what is happening to the people of Nicaragua.
That first-hand account from Nicaragua. The Miners' Conference in Jersey has unanimously backed a resolution demanding a basic wage of £140 a week for face workers and £80 a week for surface workers. The resolution also calls for a return to November the 1st as the date when negotiations on pay should start, although they accepted a 12-month agreement only this spring. If the claim is rejected by the Coal Board, the resolution says, then the miners' executive will consult their members about arranging various forms of industrial action. The resolution was strongly put to the conference by Mr. Arthur Scargill, the Yorkshire Miners' president.
If we do not wholeheartedly support it, and if the National Executive do not take this as a demand and an instruction to obtain it in full, then I warn you, the grassroots of our movement will do as they did in 1969 and will take matters into their own hands. I don't want that, and I don't believe Conference wants that. The membership of this union are saying clearly, through the resolutions that are on this agenda, they want a decent basic wage in this industry. They want an £80 per week minimum wage for all surface workers, £140 per week on the coal face, and appropriate differentials for all those working in the coal mining industry. We have an opportunity today to go on record and support the demand from the grassroots of our movement. We need to do it and return to the November 1st starting date. The President said it didn't really matter. I suggest that it matters, and it matters a great deal. It matters because Wilberforce said we should return to a November the 1st date. The fact of life is that since 1972, we have been approximately 5 months adrift as far as our wages negotiations are concerned. I hope that this conference recognises the validity of this composite resolution, goes on record in supporting it, but more important, that the National Executive Committee understand the wording of this resolution. It's an instruction to them to go in and demand the wages that we know miners are entitled to. And if we don't receive them, let us consult the membership on forms of industrial action, and let us fight, as we have done in 72 and 74, to win a victory on behalf of those we're privileged to represent. I move the motion.